we didn't get together and go, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Now let's get this message across and this and that. It's just play from your guts, and hopefully it'll come out, somewhat melodic and entertaining, not just a bunch of noise.
Would it be Rezin 47 here? And you saw the video, you know what this is about. 30 years ago today, on August 11th, 1992, one of my favorite bands of all time released one of my favorite albums of all time. There's not really anything I can say to perfectly describe how much I love this album and how much it's impacting me. But the album I am talking about is Babes in Toyland's second album, major label debut album, Fontanelle. Now, real quick, brief PSA. This is like my third time doing this. If everyone has been watching and gotten the notifications, I apologize. I got 2 false fucking starts. I don't mean to be spamming anyone's notifications or shit like that. This is the final take. But yeah, with that being said, before getting into the actual review, I should talk about how I found this band. So I first found Babes in Toyland back in 2009 while I was in first grade. I remember it detailedly. I remember it in detail. It was like very early in the morning. I went with my old man to go pick up some mail at my grandma's house because at the time, well, I guess like the apartment we were living at, I don't know if it had a mail system or not. I think it did. I'm not sure. But anyways, went over to her house to pick up some mail, and there were 2 albums. Both Babes in Toyland albums. There was this, and then there was the Natural Babe Killers album, which was a live compilation they put out in 2000. I wish I could pull the picture up, but I don't really know how to do that yet. But if you all seen that picture from Lollapalooza, where they're all wearing the shades and it's kind of orange tinted, that was the cover. But anyways, at first when I heard this, I'll be honest, I wasn't feeling it because it was completely different from anything else I previously was introduced to. But anyways, 8 years passes, comes back around in 2017, and I hear them and see them. I hear them for the second time, but I see them for the first time. And it was the MTV 120 Minutes performance, the Sweet 69. I was shown that one night. And once I heard that song and once I saw the fucking band, I mean, it was sold right there. I mean, didn't need any more convincing. I fucking loved it. And so the rest of that summer, I was just being reintroduced to songs from Fontanelle, some songs from Nemesis Sisters, and all that. And before long, I listened to the whole discography myself. I went from Nemesis Sisters, this album, Spanking Machine, to Mother and Painkillers in that order. And after that, I became fucking very obsessed. And 5 years later, I can say this right now: they're my third favorite band of all time, after only Tool and Nirvana. So that was my introduction. I'll go through what the album artwork is. Here's the cover. I'm sure everyone knows this shit. It's done by Cindy Sherman. Probably won't be able to see that spine because of the glare, but I love that pic on the back. All right, I'll go through this real quick. Says I just want to get back to reviewing the album, but here you go. Your album lyrics and all that. So, anyways, produced by Lee Ronaldo, the guitarist for Sonic Youth. I don't know, but this might have been his first time trying production. Could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking it is. But anyways, I'll shut the camera off and I'll get down to breaking down the album. Final take, third take. So here we go. Track 1, Bruised Violet. Words can't describe how fucking legendary this song is. It's more than legendary to me. It's iconic. I mean, it's a perfect sign-in for the album. Just no intro or no build-up. They just come out the gate, kicking their ass immediately. When you hear those drums and that riff coming in, it's fucking on. And this shit is just so merciless. It's violent and it never gives you a chance to breathe. Lori's drums are fucking ruthless. Cat's presence could probably start a fucking riot if it was the I wouldn't say right, but the certain conditions. But yeah, vicious fucking presence by Cat Beyond. The fucking emotion and the anger in this track is powerful. And one of the most iconic lines of all fucking time is in this song. No, you fucking bitch, I hope your insides rot. Those words have been fucking immortalized. And like I said, she sings with a lot of emotion, and it's quote unquote, I guess, controversial. Because speculation has it she was calling out Courtney Love for biting her whole shit on this track. And that's up to you to decide. Courtney, I will say, definitely bit every fucking angle of Cat Stevens, but they always remain friends, so that's where I kind of cancels each other out. But and I'm not anti-Courtney, just to make that clear. I like Pretty on the Inside. I lived through this as a fucking classic. I have that in my collection. But regardless of what this song means, if it has one of my favorite fucking songs ever created, and it's in my top 5 songs of all time, all genres considered. That's how much I value it. So yeah, Bruce Violet, great video too. They shot that like at CBGB's and on the Brooklyn Bridge. They had everybody dressing up like Cat, and there's like this shot of Cindy Sherman dressed up as her, and like she's choking her out over a staircase. I love that. So the song after that, track 2, is Right Now. It's a dark follow-up to Bruce Violet, more, I guess, laid back. This is where the new member, Maureen Herman, starts showing what she can do. The bass line she brings in this track is dark, almost sounds like a stand-up bass, kind of. Lori gets more technical on the drums in this time, and then when the chorus drops, the snares just smack with fucking force. Cat's poetry on this track is more cryptic and more dark. Mother dying all the time, my sickness. Lines like that are what I'm talking about. I love that. It's like very blunt, but says a lot. And I like how Kat did her vocals on this song, and the verses specifically. She, like, one take was whispered, and then the other one was like recorded like at the volume I'm speaking at right now. So that was dope. I love when artists do that kind of shit. But this track definitely hits like a ton of bricks, and I'm sure everyone's seen that Reading '93 performance of this song. I actually might prefer that over the album version, because whenever they play that live, like without like Cat would like do a bunch of like crazy noises with their guitar, and it's so fucking dope. So yeah, definitely a song that I think is better live than on album, but I fucking love it on wax. It's amazing. But yeah, it's definitely a great live track. And we'll keep it moving. Track 3, Bluebell. It's another standout on the album. I would say it's like one of the fan favorites. This is one of the tracks where the guitar is in the spotlight. You know, the cherry red Rickenbacker 425, and it was fitted with like just one DiMarzio like super distortion pickup. That was it. But Cat gets so much power out of it. I don't know what settings she was fucking around with or what pedals, but yeah, the guitar tone on this album is fucking brutal, and this track just shows that perfectly. And Cat starts this track with a fucking great piece of wordplay. A lot of people should know about that song. That goes like, "He'd fly through the air with the greatest of ease, a daring young man on the flying trapeze." Cat flips that and says, "Flies through the air with the greatest disease, takes little pills and calls him trapeze." That is just really fucking clever to me. I loved it. That was pretty dope. And this track is very well known, most known, I would say, for the breakdown after the second chorus. You know, with Cat yelling, "You're dead meat, motherfucker. You don't try to rape a goddess, you know who you are." And that references a real fucking incident at a show where I guess Laura was getting sexually harassed by some fucking douchebag. And yeah, the Cat took that and really fucking took that, and just wanted to make that fucking message clear with this song. So yeah, I definitely stand by that message on this track. Fuck anyone, fuck a rapist, any shit like that. I'm not down with. But this is a great track. One of Toyland's household name songs. Great shit. And then after that, we go to one of my personal favorites. One of the hardest tracks on the album, Handsome and Gretel. One of my favorite songs of all time, not bounded by any genres. Once the riff on that starts, my body temp rises. This is knock a motherfucker out music. I love how raunchy like Cat's lyrics get on this song with that second verse. My name is Gretel, yeah, I gotta cross that talks and talks to other cocks. It's been 12 city blocks, you fucking bitch. Just graphic shit. I love it. And if to anyone who was fucking crying over that wet ass pussy track in 2020, compared to that, you will not survive Handsome and Gretel. And this is not the only version of this track. There's an original version with Michelle that they released in '91, and it's I have it right here with me. I'll show it off later, but it's got like it's a picture of a real fucking car crash where Cat's all bloody and she's had the red dress on, and they just took that and made it the cover. But I think I like that more than this because the drums on there are mixed better, but the guitars in here are a lot fucking grimier. So Handsome and Gretel, what a fucking song that is. I wish I had a video, but with what the whole censorship craze in '92, that shit wouldn't slide. Anyways, now we go on to track 5 with Blood, one of the darkest songs on the album. And the lyrics are open to interpretation, but me personally, I think this is about Kat being abused by her stepmother when she was growing up. She talked about that in the Not Bad for a Girl documentary in 1995. Like when she says, I never thought that you'd implode through my mind. I always wanted to be abused. That ain't the damaged psyche of an abuse victim. I don't know what is. And her screams going into the chorus just further drive that point home. Like one of the most powerful tracks on here emotionally, psychologically, however you want to say it. Great fucking track. And Maureen gets a nice solo in at 133. I like the bass she puts in on that shit. And me personally, I think this track's underrated. I don't really hear anyone really quote anything from this track, but I love it. One of my personal favorites, one of the fastest songs, one of the darkest songs is Blood. So next up, we go to track 6, Magic Flute. Every Babes in Toyland album has at least one song with Lori Barbero on the mic. This is the Fontanelle installment. Before that, there was Dog on Spanking Machine, Primus on To Mother, and there are a couple other tracks, but like around that same time. But out of all those tracks she's vocalized, this is my favorite. More people need to talk about Lori's vocals because when people talk about her, I don't really hear that brought up, which just I don't understand. Maybe I'm just not paying attention. But great voice, very soulful, very soulful, and it's a great contrast to Cat's voice. Like that dichotomy is just perfect. And when they're both on the same track together, is also real nice. Like check out that song Cauterize. It's a pretty rare song. It was done around the Nemesis era, but you'll hear what I mean with that track. Anyways, back to Magic Flute. Whenever they played this live, like Cat would pull out like a fucking butcher knife and start scraping the strings with it, getting a bunch of crazy noise. I love it. That was you saw that in the intro video. But my favorite part of the song is that short rest at 2:34. It just becomes like very dark and suspenseful and like unnerving. But it's very short, but it's my favorite part. So this is a great song. The Scandinavian Goddess did a great fucking job on this track. That's Magic Flute. Now, next up, one of my fucking standouts on the album. This track is fucking hard. Won't Tell. This is what a banger is supposed to sound like. One of their heaviest songs, one of their catchiest songs. This just goes in. The chorus is iconic. Figure out your problem with me is you. Cat kills it. Lori beats the drums again. And even Maureen's bass sounds a little thicker and heavier on this track compared to the earlier songs. Won't Tell was also a video single, video only single. And I'll have to say this: that's my favorite Babes in Toyland music video. It's fucking so abstract and crazy. It just abandons all fucking logic and sanity, but that's why I love it. Like in the chorus when Cat's singing like in the dude's like blood red iris, I love that. That's actually the background for this stream right now, but can't see it because that my little mic that thing is blocking it. But I still love this song. Goes hard, and I wouldn't call this a radio made album, but like not at all. But I would say if I had to pick one track that I can see getting radio airplay in '92, it'd probably be "Won't Tell." But I'll stop with there because I will keep going. This is a fucking face melter, one of my standouts. It's a fucking classic. They always play it live too. So next up is track 8, "Quiet Room." This is an interlude to carry the album from the A side to the B side, and it's actually, yeah, it is. It's the start of the B side, if you had the cassette. But this song has a pretty long history to it. Started back in '85 as a Pagan Baby song. And if y'all don't know that, pretty a lot of y'all should know. That was I would consider it a super group, but at the time it really wouldn't be. It was Cat Bjelland, Courtney Love, Jennifer Finch, and the fourth person's name escapes me right now, but that was 3/4 of the lineup. And this was on an EP they had called Realize. And then that one actually had lyrics to it. And then 6 years later, it comes back around on the closing track to To Mother. It's just a Cat solo track playing guitar like it is on here, but it's dirtier and creepier on there. And they reinvented a third time for Fontanelle. It's the same like structure and riffs as the To Mother version, but just with a cleaner, more polished guitar sound. And the riffs are dope. I definitely will say that. But the track is just, for an interlude, the track's too fucking long for me personally. It's like around 3 minutes. And if it's a 3 minutes, you might as well just write new lyrics to it. Because, like I say, great riff, but just too long for me. I always skip this. If they cut it down to 90 seconds or like even a minute 45, I listen to it every time. But still, for what it is, it's a great track. Cat does a great job on the guitar here. And dope song. Now we get back to the songs with lyrics. Track 9, Spun. This is, again, one of the darkest Toyland songs you can find. Cat's lyrics are very cryptic here. And like I said, they're open to interpretation. So my personal interpretation of this song is drug addiction. It's what I think it's about. Like, well, when Cat says, living is nice when you're spun like a kite. And also, in the bridge after the second chorus, she has another really cool line. Life is real when you're dreaming. Life's a dream when you're reeling. Like I said, the wordplay is fucking great, and I don't want it to go unnoticed. So that was really good. And the band, like, very like here and there, they'll fuck around with time signatures. Like Quiet Room was one of them. That was like in 6/4. This track, well, I counted it out. This shit is in 12/8, which is crazy. But still a dope track. More laid back, but still dark. And also a quick salute to Michelle Leon. She got her book title from one of the lines on this track, I Live Inside. Go check that out if you haven't read it yet. But we're going to move up to track 10, one of my personal favorites on the album. I never hear this brought up at all. Short song. Literal to its title, it's only 41 seconds, but it's so fucking hard and it goes so in. I think this could have been the intro, you know. But then again, Bruce Violet is perfect. He just gets right down to the grimy shit right away. But if this album were to have an intro track, this would definitely be the song to put. But yeah, the drums are fucking brutal on this shit. Lori really shows off on this song. Cat's ad-libbing on this track is really dope. It's what I would call it. It's not really singing, but this track just goes hard, and it's one of their earliest made tracks. This goes back to like around 88, 89, Spanking Machine era. So I have to bring that up for sure. Very overlooked track. I love it. I'll be one of the people that acknowledge its existence because it never gets talked about. But next up, we go into again one of the darkest tracks on the album, track 11, which is Jungle Train. The cast performance on the song is fucking unbelievable. Her growls and pick scraping, they're just so dope. But only have one beef with this track right here, and it's hard. I think it's hard to hear what Kat's saying in the verses, cause like her growls are mixed over them. But still, the song's amazing. I love that breakdown at 124. Again, like those kind of ad lib kind of vocals she's doing, and how they pan left to right I just love it. And but that fucking shriek at 144, nightmare fuel right there. That will scare the shit out of some kids. Like, it's done 100% perfectly. Those vocals are razor sharp. Kat's voice control is, that's one thing I've always loved about her. Her voice control is pinpoint. But one of my favorites on the album, one of the darkest on the album. It's like what Falling into Hell sounds like. So, Jungle Train, one of my favorites, track 11. And then the mood kind of lightens up with this next track, Pearl. This was the B-side to the Handsome and Gretel single from 91. Again, like that version, it's different from what's on here. But I liked it. But unlike Handsome and Gretel, I actually like the album version of this more. And this song's to what I've picked up on it, it's about a chick named Pearl who's basically fucking lazy, who stays in bed and drinks wine all day and burns black candles. But no official meaning to the track, but that's what I think it is. You know, off with their heads because I'm staying in bed, sick of that black bird that shrieks in my head. I love that. The dark imagery on that is fucking dope. And I love the pick scraping again on this track that pans left to right after each chorus. Like Cat's guitar tricks are just fucking sick. One of my favorite guitarists right there. And this song I think has a real good summer feeling to it. It makes the air feel like it's burning at 110 degrees when I hear this. And again, I could kind of see this getting radio airplay, but the explicit lyrics of it will probably shut that down. But it was just the music itself sounds like something that you could hear on the radio. So that is Pearl, track 12. And now we go up to what I would say is like the signature track on this album, Realize. If this song had a title track on the album, if this album had a title track, I would say it'd be this. It just feels like a signature album cut to me. Lori's performance on this track is fucking crazy. The drumming on this shit is just fucking crazy. Cat's vocals are like mixed more towards the front of this song, so when she first comes in with those 3 C's between us in the very next bus, immediately grabs your attention. But what I love this line right here. Heretic Todd goes that Eastern clock, your friends, they're really not. I can't take it anymore. And the way Kat says I can't take it anymore feels so fucking real. Like, it sounds like she's really losing it in the booth as she's singing these lyrics. So this shit on this album is definitely coming from a real place. Is as if that wasn't obvious already. But Kat pulls off another gnarly scream at like 156. Actually, 2 screams that right. They're overlapping each other, which I thought was pretty cool. And then the chorus just carries the song out. But yeah, this is a dope fucking track right here. Whenever they play this live, Kat would like get some crazy feedback on the Rickenbacker and just do some crazy noodling before the song starts. Like the intro to this like the opening card intro for this. That was intro to like one of the performances of that Realize track. So yeah, there you go. That's Realize track 13. And then next up, in my opinion, I would have to say this is the darkest Babes in Toyland song of all time, Mother. This song is so personal, so dark, and so suspenseful. I think of it as Kat getting revenge on her abusive stepmother that I mentioned before while talking about blood. I just love the intro build up. So like suspenseful. It just creeps up on you. And then when it drops in at 39 seconds, again, it gives me that same Handsome McGrill thing. I want to Irish whip someone into a brick wall. It's just slam dance music, right? Just simply put, I'll run from you and it shows. That's what you like me for, huh, sister? Crawling now on the floor, do you like it? I love that. That's so fucking hard. I've always loved that. I can just pick it's visual. I can see a video for this. If there were one, it would be like a real horror movie kind of feeling. Because it just feels like a revenge track. That's what I look at it as. Again, they're all open to interpretation, but like I said about like some of these other tracks before, Kat's performance on this track is so emotional. Like the scream she has at like 2:17 in the track, damn near disturbing. Like that shit sounds so real, and and the one thing that just is just the cherry on top for this track is at 2:57. Kat Bjorn starts fucking speaking in tongues on this track. That is crazy. And there's going back to that Not Bad for a Girl documentary. You can actually see her doing that live and in person on that shit. And it's fucking crazy. Like I've never heard that done on any other track before this or after this. I wish she did it more because that is just something that takes real talent to pull off. So yeah, Mother, so dark, very personal, and so suspenseful. It's one of my standouts on the album. And then here we are. We arrive at the closing sign-off track to the album, Gone. The album is definitely not ending in a happy manner. It's very dark, and it's basically just a Kat solo track to me. Just her with her guitar singing about how she has nothing left to give. And when they were in the studio making this album, when Kat was recording this in the booth, she started breaking a bunch of beer bottles, and that's like what the glass smashing in the song is from. And I think it just makes the track more eerie, especially just like how like loudly they're mixed. And you can hear like Kat screaming around, and it just like that just adds another layer of darkness to the track. And there's no like known performance of this track that I have seen, which would make sense because there was no recreating what was captured here. Very dark song, and it's so what a fucking way to sign off to this masterpiece. So that is the entire Babes in Toyland Fontanelle album, analyzed, reviewed, and praised from track 1 to track done. And in a nutshell, this is just a whole ass masterpiece. It's one of the most important pieces of art to ever enter my life. And yes, it is my favorite Babes in Toyland album. But it's also like in my top 15 albums of all time if I had to think about it, all the albums I've ever heard. But in my heart, I would say this is more like top 10. Fontanelle has been here with me through everything. I relate to the insanity that's brought to this album. I mean, I can't think of anything else that comes close to it. Everything in this album is 100% real pain with real substance. You can't fucking fake the emotion Kat Bjorn pours into this record. She puts out everything that she's been through on this record right here. It's dark, very personal, disturbing at some points for some people, but it's like that saying goes: the art is supposed to comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. That is this fucking in a jewel case. And I've been to the depths of hell in life, and this is the kind of music I identify with. So, also, what an album for Maria Herman to debut on. It's like it's their first album that has like a real like influence with the production, because like Spanking Machine and To Mother, those were very raw records. They just recorded it and like mixed it, mastered it, and that was it. But with this, you get great production value with this album right here. the Ronaldo murdered the production. I think it makes the album what it is here. You know, it's very atmospheric. All that panning effects they were fucking around with. You know, if this was really his first time doing a production for an album, holy fuck, this is exceptional. So, and I have to give some props to Lori again. The drums on this track are brutal as fuck. It sounds like she's beating holes into the drums the way like she performs on this album. And if you just happen to be tuning into this stream, you know, just because you're subscribed and you haven't heard of this band, if you love like the 90s alternative / grunge like style music, this is a must fucking listen. Look it up. Babes in Toyland, and the album's called Fontanelle. So thank you, Kat, Maureen, Lori, Lee, and everyone else involved on this. I'll give my rating and I'll do a top 5 favorite tracks right here. Far and Away is just an easy 5 out of 5. Life-changing record. My top 5 tracks going from 5 to 1 would be Jungle Train, Mother, Won't Tell, Handsome and Gretel, and then Bruised Violet. Those are my top 5. For any of y'all who tuned in live, salute. And to anyone who else is just gonna catch this on the replay, fucking salute, because this is my 3rd time trying this. You don't have to sit through me like having 2 false starts, but we got it done here. And that's my review for Babes in Toyland, Fontanelle, released 30 years ago today on August 11th, 1992. Again, thank you, Kat. Thank you, Lori, Marine. Prayers up for Kat. Still, you know, I hope she at least makes it to 60, because like the health condition she's battling right now is fucking not looking good. But still holding out faith. I hope just a miracle happens somehow. But that's gonna bring this video to an end. Thanks for watching, whether it's live or post live. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this shit, because if you want more content on this band, this is the place to be. This is where you're gonna get the best quality on this shit, because for the longest time no one's really done content on them. Starting to happen more now. People are finally catching on to this band, and it's a great thing to say, because this band is so slept on. But I've rambled on long enough. Thanks for watching. Rezin 47 over and out.